Romans. Rome's power wasn't just a fluke. It was something the world had never seen before. Picture this, an empire that lasted centuries, with armies that were unstoppable, and a leadership that always seemed to stay 2 steps ahead. But what made Rome unbeatable? Was it their army's strength, their strategies, or was it something else entirely? You're about to find out. This story isn't just about conquering lands. It's about how Rome built its legacy and why no one could touch them. Ready to uncover the secret to their success? Let's go. The Roman Empire didn't rise to power overnight. It took blood, sweat, and a lot of clever tactics. The Roman army wasn't just a group of soldiers. No. It was a finely tuned machine, crafted through years of battle and experience. Every soldier knew their role, and the discipline they had was unmatched. But even with all that training, Rome's military strength wasn't just about how hard they fought, it was about how smart they fought. The Romans understood the value of strategy over force, which made them nearly unbeatable on the battlefield. But it wasn't all about raw power. They weren't just fighters, they were thinkers. The Roman legions adapted to every challenge they faced. When an enemy changed tactics, the Romans would change right along with them. They were constantly improving, learning from their mistakes, and refining their techniques. This adaptability meant they could face off against any force and come out victorious. And let's talk about their leadership. Rome was a complex empire with a vast territory, yet it remained surprisingly stable for most of its existence. Why? Because their leadership was forward-thinking and organized. The Romans didn't just conquer, they built. They understood that control wasn't just about military power. It was about maintaining order, ensuring loyalty, and keeping things running smoothly. But what set Rome apart was how they managed their people. The leaders didn't just rule through fear. They inspired loyalty by offering stability, opportunity, and respect. The idea of being Roman became a source of pride, and this pride helped bind the empire together. But Rome's strength wasn't just in their politics or their military prowess. It was also in their culture. Roman citizens were proud of their heritage, and this cultural unity made Rome even harder to beat. When everyone believes in the same cause, they're not just fighting for a land, they're fighting for a way of life. Rome's identity wasn't just about ruling the world, it was about creating something that people wanted to be a part of. That kind of unity created a foundation that was nearly impossible to break. However, it wasn't just smooth sailing. Rome faced its fair share of challenges. There were economic crises, rebellions, and outside threats. But instead of crumbling under pressure, the Romans always found a way to adapt. They constantly reformed their military, economy, and political structures to meet the needs of the time. They weren't afraid to change when things weren't working, and this flexibility kept them ahead of their enemies. Their ability to survive through tough times and come out stronger was a major reason why they remained unbeatable for so long. But even with all their strengths, Rome didn't just sit back and relax. They were always pushing forward. They didn't just expand their territory for the sake of power. They wanted to make sure their empire would last. This forward-thinking mindset led to innovations in infrastructure, technology, and law. The Romans built roads, aqueducts, and cities that still stand today. They understood that a solid foundation was key to long-term success. Their attention to detail in every aspect of their empire was part of what made them so tough to defeat. Now let's talk about the big picture. Why was Rome truly unbeatable? It wasn't just about having a massive army or a stable government. It was about the entire system they built. Rome was a complex web of military, politics, culture, and infrastructure, all working together in harmony. Every part of their empire supported the others, and they knew how to keep things balanced. This balance made them incredibly difficult to take down. When one area faced problems, they had a backup. They were prepared for everything, and this foresight made them untouchable. So, if you're wondering why Rome was unbeatable, the answer is clear. It was their combination of military brilliance, leadership, adaptability, and cultural unity. They understood that being strong didn't just mean being powerful, it meant being smart, flexible, and prepared for anything. And while no empire lasts forever, Rome's ability to continuously adapt and improve kept them at the top for centuries. In the end, Rome teaches us a valuable lesson. It's not enough to just be strong. You have to be smart, adaptable, and united. Rome's story shows that the key to being unbeatable isn't just about brute force. It's about creating something that lasts, something that's greater than the sum of its parts. And that's a lesson we can all learn from. The world may change, but the principles that made Rome unbeatable are timeless.